So this is the book, The Journey That Saved Curious George. The author is Louise Borden and it was illustrated by Alan Drummond. The book tells the story of all the adventures that Hans and Margaret had to undergo on their lives, running away from the war. They had to live a time in Paris. They had to leave their hometown. They moved to Rio. Um, and then they always used to write. These two they traveled all the way to Portugal to be safe. Now I really like the book because it has original pictures of the two great artists. It also kept a lot of original receipts on their way on their adventures throughout Europe, South America, and it also mentions how their life was when they just arrived in America. Um, it tells the story of Curious George, but at the beginning it was called Fifi, Adventures of Fifi. Um, the author tells the story as she was living it. It explains exactly the events that happened before they moved forward to the next writing. Um, it is interesting to read all the events that impacted the war and how those events impacted the life of these two writers, and they became very well known all over the world because they wrote stories for children. Margaret thought that writing for children during the war was a good idea because she thought that kids needed it. And the book has a lot of original pictures of themselves. It tells details on how they had to leave one place to move to the next one. And at the end of the book, it also explains and gives you details of where all these pictures came from and the bibliography of the books that they wrote. I really recommend this book to everybody who is interested in knowing what is the story behind Curious George. Thanks.